Well, after two videos saying that VShojo is going to crumble and go out of business, lo and behold, your boy was right again. What a shock. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and yes, victory is sweet as VTuber CEO admits to spending charity money as agency implodes. VShojo shutting down after failing to raise additional funds. And in the last video I covered about this the day before yesterday, you know what, I thought I'd be charitable and give some of the naysayers, at least one naysayer in particular, my buddy Mizu, who's also a VTuber, the benefit of the doubt and some of his criticisms and critiques of the situation. But yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore now, does it? Because VShojo, they shutting down, they going the way of the dinosaur. So yeah, we're gonna go through this article before we do hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel, I cover nerdy news every day, and oh, this is victory, guys. This is victory, and it feels good. It really does, because on the one hand, even though I'm not huge into the VTubers and VTube culture, even though I do watch some on occasion, mostly my friends who, as opposed to these like big name individuals, I still love independent creators, independent creation, and think that this will always be a better route than any sort of, like, business backing. Earlier this week, popular VTuber Ironmouse accused talent agency VShojo of failing to pay out money she was owed, including over $500,000, aka $500,000, for charity as part of a record-breaking Twitch subathon last fall. Record-breaking is putting it mildly. We're talking about the biggest VTuber on the platform, like the biggest VTuber on Twitch, bar none. Now, VShojo has revealed it is shutting down after failing to raise more investment funds, and the CEO has even admitted to spending some of the charity money on trying to keep the business afloat. And the kicker to this, if you haven't seen VShojo's statement, which they have made one, and it'll be the last statement they ever make, because again, they're gone, he actively lies about how the money was spent and has already been caught in that lie. Why? Because the internet does not forget, my friends. I acknowledge that some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with talent activity, which I later learned was intended for a charitable initiative. Whoa. What do you mean you later learned is for a charitable initiative? Because we got a community note right here saying Justin claims to not know the purpose of the funds, but he personally congratulated Ironmouse on the completion of her charity fundraising event and reposted Lugwid directly mentioning that half the funds would go to charity. Well, did he now? Let's take a gander, shall we? You did it, Mouse. In response to, words cannot express how I'm feeling, nor can I express my gratitude. Thank you all so much for the incredible support. Thank you for changing my life, for being the best community in the universe. We dream big and we did it, bros. Love you all. Well, look at that. And this is in response to the charity stream. You did it, Mouse. Oh, man. I bet he is just falling off. Homie getting dragged hard. But you can make the argument. You can make the case. Hey, he didn't know this for charities. It meant, the size of the stream. I mean, really? Because what about some of this stuff right here that we're seeing? Ironmouse just blew past my old Twitch sub record, still has another day to break Kai's record. I've seen some weird people flame her on Twitter the past couple weeks, but I hope she shatters the all-time sub record. She's a great streamer, has one of the best stories on Twitch, and is also donating half the money raised to charity. The Gun Run reposted this. Now, maybe he reposted it without looking at it. Just saw Ironmouse and reposted. No. Look, man, you can only give so many excuses for so long. Homie straight up says that, oh, it turns out some of that money was intended for charity when you knew. You're caught in the lie, but whatever. Let's just see what else he says. Justin Gunrun Ignacio wrote in a statement on X, at the time we were working hard to raise additional investment capital to cover our costs, and I firmly believe, based on the information available to us, that we'd be able to do so and cover all expenses. We were unsuccessful in our fundraising efforts. I made the decision to pursue funding on its own consequences. I mean, dude, this is rough. This whole ass statement just boils down to, we spent money poorly, and now we're going out of business, and for the talent, sucks to suck. Like, additionally, I acknowledge some of the money spent by the company was raised in connection with additionally, So over the past few years, we've raised around $11 million to pursue a bold, talent-first approach to VTubing, prioritizing creators and community over short-term profits. I mean, I don't know if that's what you did, or if you're just trying to really make it sound all like sweet and whatnot, but short-term profits are kind of necessary to continue making long-term profits, but what do I know? I'm just a business owner myself. To achieve long-term sustainability, our funding went directly to our creators through generous splits, debut investments, infrastructure, concerts, events, and staffing, all designed to support them. We also want talent to own their own IP, which we knew was a unique creator-first approach for the agency. I will give them credit for that. To be fair, I will give them credit for that. I was unaware until the previous video I did on the subject that VShojo actually allowed all their creators to retain their own IP as opposed to doing like a buyback program or something, or just flat out owning it like the WWE does. So you know what? Credit where credit's due. That is a good method. However, despite all our efforts, the business failed to generate the revenue we needed to sustain the model, and eventually we ran out of money. I am deeply sorry to all the talent, staff, friends, community members who believed in our brand. You did not deserve this. Okay, you can be sorry about them believing in the brand and whatnot, but what about all the funds that are missing? Not just the charity funds, although those are arguably the most important by far, but also what about all the VTubers that quit after Ironmouse quit saying, yo, we ain't been paid? Like, I consider that to be something you should actually feel sorry for, and I wonder where we're at with that. He said VShojo had raised $11 million a few years ago, and the company had been poured into trying to grow the agency amid the growing popularity of VTubers in the US. This included various fan events like concerts and splashy branded collaborations, like bringing skins and voice performances from its signed VTuber personalities to games such as Smite. But Ignacio says the business model failed to generate revenue we need to sustain the model. Now, here's what you're probably not going to get from a lot of filmmaking video on this: nuance. Because in defense of VShojo, and I did say this in the previous video as well, that was the benefit of signing to VShojo instead of staying independent. It's a whole lot easier to have a brand, a company, something like that, do these brand deals, do these collaborations, put on the events. Hey, the event needs security, it needs certain insurance information, it needs all the back-end paperwork filled out. Yeah, it's definitely better to have some big corporation take care of that, or even small business, whatever you want to say, as opposed to a group of 6 V2 girls trying to figure something out like that themselves. I mean, we've seen so many other content creators put on like their own conventions and own fan events and whatnot, and it gets absolutely destroyed. The Game Grumps are an example of this. The Game Grumps did some sort of fan event, and it was shut down by the city because they had failed to do things properly. You know what? Mistakes happen. So having that fall on the corporate side, that makes sense. In terms of growing yourself, growing your brand, yeah, having someone that can get you into games like Smite or various other VTube collaborations. Pretty sure there's a VTube collaboration for the Japanese release of it wasn't VShojo, but in general, a VTube collaboration with the Japanese release of Sonic Frontiers. Like, yes, that actually does make sense. There is room for that model. I don't know if you should be signing with talent agencies like that, or maybe it should be some sort of more, its own business that has, let's say maybe a third party, a contractor split, something. But again, that goes more the WWE route. I don't know the answer to that one. I'm gonna be real, I don't. But there are positives, or I guess still working on the tenses here, were positives to VShojo. But as a general rule, when it came for what's best for the creator and also what makes them more money, yeah, independent was always the best route to go. Ironmouse, who did not reveal the details of her breakup with VShojo, which she said would involve legal action, was not the only VTuber to cut ties with the agency this week. On July 22nd, every member of its roster said they were either going independent or taking a break from streaming for a while, making VShojo to be the very first VTuber talent agency to not have any talent. Quite a feat! Some of the VTubers said they hadn't been paid in months, and it remains unclear how much money VShojo owes them and whether that money will ever be paid. And while the agency is now shutting down, and the $515,000 it was supposed to pay to the Immunodeficiency Foundation may never materialize, a fresh fundraiser from Ironmouse recently announced has already raised over $11 million. Hold on. Let's take a look. You know what? No. Ironmouse, I'm glad you got a statement and all that. That's all well and good. Let's go to the actual website itself, though, because I'm wondering what it's at now since this has been announced. So we're gonna go to Tiltify Ironmouse. Bam! Look at that bacon sizzle. We at 1.2 milli, son. That is well over double what needed to be paid out initially by VShojo. I mean, look, should they also get the $515,000 they're over from VShojo? Yeah, they should. But if there is a silver lining, it's that Ironmouse, that community, those fans, maybe some of you guys watching, if you're VTuber fans, were able to turn this absolute negative into a positive. This is insane. Guys, remember, the goal was 10,000. 10,000. that's not even 1% of what was originally, or no, sorry, it is, more, the point is, it is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what was initially supposed to have been given by VShojo, and that was absolutely destroyed. I mean, I'm beyond impressed. But what's great is the responses to the tweet. So here's the official VShojo statement. We got Tet-Tone, Mao, fuck all y'all. We get what about Asmongold here? So, what about the $500K for charity money? Is that going to be donated, or still something needs to be investigated? Not to mention the unpaid talent fees. That's an excellent question, Asmon. Excellent question indeed. I am truly curious myself. Banana Juju, this is fucked up. Base Banana Juju, she was, attacked recently for unfair reasons. Fantastic creator. Hex Juice, even if the money wasn't for charity, it wasn't for you either. You still would have been taking money that Ironmouse earned. Is even worse if it was for charity. Now, I disagree with Hex Juice here because of the split. Which what I read was correct, it's 100-0 split, that Ironmouse gets to keep merch sales and everything through VShojo. VShojo keeps the other amount. I'm not sure on the details of that. I don't know if anyone it actually truly is. That's some legal stuff. But the point is, I do not know that if it weren't for charity, that VShojo wouldn't have been entitled to that stuff. So that's an unfair criticism. This is so shit. Mismanagement is a funny way to say greedy rat. Things that are coming out are not mismanagement. They are appalling stories. You and your likeys ran that company are spineless narcissists. I mean, now to be fair, two things can be true. You didn't notice how 500K suddenly got added to the bank account. You're not aware of the huge fundraising campaigns your own talents do, even when it's a charity event that breaks records and has the entire community talking about it. Jesus Christ. Okay, losing onto something here. Once that money is there, once the events are there, once the fans are there, once everyone's talking about it, when it breaks Twitch records, and when you're retweeting it, I think it's safe to say you probably do something, just a little something. Rev says, I love my wife. Sorry we selfishly gobbled up the funds made by our creators, including those dedicated to charity, on the foolish assumption that we would get further funding, which we probably would have taken as well. Scathing. But the final one we'll go over. The final one is this one here from Ironmouse herself, and it is the hardest. You broke my heart, my spirit, and my trust. It would hit a little bit harder if Mouse put the comma after spirit where it should go, but in general, you get the sentiment. That was, what can I tell you? This is a good thing at the end of the day, because independence in the creator sphere, whether it be YouTube or Twitch or Kick, Rumble, it doesn't matter. Being independent is actually what matters. That's where the freedom comes from. Yes, you are probably going to have a harder time with big events should you choose to do those. You are going to have a harder time with brand deals because you're coming at this as a solo individual, as opposed to having some sort of legal team or analytical team handle that side thing for you, figuring out what brand deals are the best. Hell, just getting into contact with those brands. So in the simple terms, it's going to be more difficult. However, I think, personally, just the way that I live my life, the freedom that comes with independence will always be better. Not only that, but people, your fans, your followers, your community, whatever it is, will always know that if you're independent, or at least, maybe not know, but definitely have an easier time believing if you're independent, then what you say you are, who you say you are, what you say you believe, those are all genuine and coming from you. It's not the corporate-approved public relations, politically correct speak that so many corporations are known to have their talent do. Again, just look at Hollywood, the WWE, the music industry, and I'm sure other YouTubers that are contractually obligated through other talent agencies like this absolutely have corpo speak in them. When you freelance, when you're indie, whatever it may be, look, is everyone going to be honest? No, you're going to have some snakes in the grass and some fake people, but there's definitely a better chance that they're being honest and real with you because they don't have to bow and kowtow to Big Daddy Corpo. This is my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X where you can find me at Bolt the Word, and please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not always about the VTuber situation. In fact, this might be the last one about VShojo. So yeah, beyond that, it's usually anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles you go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos to react to on the Friday night live streams, and of course get involved with over 200 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity. Diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord, hit subscribe. And until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.